Hey guys, I'm Eric, and this is a new episode of Real Hot. Today I am going to be reviewing The Jungle Book while eating a plate of wings from New York Wing Factory in New Jersey. So, first I guess I'll get started just by eating these wings. Oh, yep, there it is. There goes my body rejecting it. Oh, my eyes are watering. Okay, I guess I'll start with that. Oh, God. Oh, okay. So, The Jungle Book is a live action Disney movie that is a continuation of their reinterpretations of classic Disney animated movies, like their Snow and the Huntsman, Cinderella, Maleficent, and so
Snow
on.
and the Huntsman was done by Disney?
Oh no, that was
Yeah, I thought that was,
like Fox?
I'm gonna check.
Okay, you check that.
Before you fuck up.
It may have been Mirror Mirror. I don't know. Can't remember anymore. So anyway, so this one was directed by Jon Favreau, who did like Iron Man 1 and 2, Elf. Lest anyone forget, he did Elf.
Universal.
Oh, okay. Nah, close enough. The parks are right next to each other. Oh, oh God! It's been like 5 minutes. I haven't given any information. So it's a classic Jungle Book story. Man, or a man cub, who's Mowgli, is raised by animals. In this case, it is a panther voiced by Ben Kingsley, a bear, a wolf mother voiced by Lupita Nyong'o.
I thought that was weird.
Well, I'm getting to that. Hold on. A bear voiced by Bill Murray. And then along the way, he also meets a snake voiced by Scarlett Johansson and an orangutan voiced by Christopher Walken. Again, I'll get to that in just a second. Story was, I haven't seen the Jungle Book since I was like 12, but as a adaptation of the animated movie, I thought it was fine. It worked. It was really slow in the beginning. I found myself pretty bored, and I guess I'll say my biggest gripe over the whole thing as one critique, because they went for photorealistic animals. The most emotional moments are with the wolves, because that is the family Mowgli grew up with, and they just have dead eyes. Just dead eyes, no face movement, because if they did, it would look cartoony. But Baloo and King Louie were probably the best ones. And Ka, the giant snake, very much dead eyes, because there's very little motion you could do besides the mouth. Oh God, it was a pretty standard story, pretty okay movie. I thought it was interesting that it was shown in 16:9 aspect ratio instead of a full, or not a full, but a anamorphic 2.35 widescreen. It made me think of old John Ford westerns, which were intentionally done but in 4:3, more square format, to show more sky and ground in it. And since this is very VFX heavy and to show the landscapes and all that, it seemed like the modern version of that, where it used a taller format to show more of the sky and more of the land, of the landscape that you have all the animals in. I guess it wasn't motion capture. The animation of all the animals was really well done. I thought they were at their best when the animals weren't talking. It seemed like it felt more realistic, I guess, when they were not talking animals.
Yeah, because generally animals don't talk.
The way it was shot was pretty standard. They didn't really seem like they were going too artistic with it. It was just kind of there. There were two shots that stood out to me that fell out of place because of how much I liked them. And I'll actually generally try to keep this spoiler free, but shot where Blue and what is the panther's name? Bagheera are climbing up a cliffside, and then it does a wide shot and then kind of zooms in and kind of shakes around a little bit. You're seeing them climbing, and it added it added some realism to it, but it just felt that it was like what it took me out of it thinking like, wow, this is actually pretty cool. And another one is Bagheera chasing Shere Khan, who I forgot to mention was voiced by Idris Elba. And they're just chasing, and it was a profile panning shot, and it looked like a nature documentary, that the kind you see when leopards are chasing gazelles. I was like, oh wow, this is a really cool shot. Did not belong anywhere in that movie because of how well it was done. It looked gorgeous. As someone who did not train in computer animation, I thought it looked really well done. There were a few shots though, even I was like, oh, Mowgli does not look like he's in that space. It looks like he is riding a giant cylinder that they later changed to other things. Other things I had issue with, I think, well, one was it looked weird seeing them talk, but I think part of it also was that most of the voices I don't think matched who they were playing. I thought Lupita was fine. Ben Kingsley was fine.
Can I just say?
Okay, yeah. So Lupita Nyong'o
Played by she was a white wolf. Is that a comment on something?
the wolf that she played was white, almost pure white. All the other wolves were shades of gray. Yeah, Christopher Walken was weird.
He was like the worst possible choice you could pick for a jazz singing orangutan. Jazz singing orangutan.
BT dubs. There is some slight singing in this movie. They do the whole bear's necessities part, but they make it fit really well to where it seems like it's just a tune he likes. Even Mowgli was like, "What's that you humming?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just a song. It's all about the wonders of life." And Mowgli's like, "What's a song?" And then it's like, everyone's got a song. Like, it's a nice, like, little small character moment, and it worked. But then when they're with King Louie, he's trying to interrogate him, and then you hear this like jazz music in the background, and I'm sitting there like, oh, they're just making a reference to "I Want to Be Like You." Nope. Then Christopher Walken starts breaking out into song, singing "I Want to Be Like You," like half of it at least. Oh god. Oh, I can feel it hitting my stomach. Yeah, and then even, I don't know, even Scarlett Johansson's voice didn't match for Ka. The one scene she is in it. One scene.
I actually thought that was better than the other choices.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like, that wasn't the one I would have harped on.
Okay. Goes Christopher Walken. And I thought everyone else was fine. Like, matching who the character they were. But I think that in the mix of the wolf faces having no expression is what made Lupita so hit me so hard. Speaking of hitting me so hard, I noticed, I don't know if this is just me just picking up what I wanted to see, but I liked how they showed, story of boy trying to find his place in the world, being raised to live life the wolf way, and then he has to leave that to go to the world of man, but he doesn't want to, and along the way he sees the 3 different outcomes he could have. Through Ben Kingsley's character, he sees what he would be like if he followed the rules but lived in the jungle. Through Baloo's character, Bill Murray's character, sees what he would be like if he didn't follow the rules and just went his own way but lived in the jungle. And then through King Louis, he sees what he would become if he fully embraced man's way and lived with man. And then he decides that he's told by Baloo that he can't live the wolf way. He's like, you gotta live the Mowgli way, and like by the end he finds the Mowgli way, which it works. So like it's a cool like character development thing that I thought was interesting. Standard writing kind of stuff where by the climax of it, where you see how Mowgli defeats the antagonist, it's relating back to something you see in the first scene, like that kind of like feel good movie thing. But yeah, I was kind of meh about the movie. It was alright. Off camera person, did you want to talk about CG? Since you are one trained in CG.
Yeah, I thought the...
Hold on.
No, don't move the mic.
Hold on.
Okay, fine.
I moved it already.
I thought the CG was decent. It was actually really well done. Kudos to you, NPC. Not just because, you know. There were some compositing things that I thought looked weird, like certain shots where obviously Mowgli was clearly in a green screen room, or like they didn't, you know, I guess go the full... What's the football term? The full
9 yards?
9 yards, yeah. They obviously didn't go the full 9 yards, and so there are some scenes where he's not integrated completely into the scene. But there are like some decent parts, like there's a part where Mowgli's on Baloo's stomach and they're floating down the river, and I thought it was well done, especially with all the fur involved, and just the fact that Mowgli's interacting with all of these clearly CG characters, and it doesn't really look off, although there is a part which is understandably difficult and very impressively well done, but still doesn't quite look like he's in the scene yet. And it's this part where he's being passed down a line full of fucking monkeys. Am I allowed to say the word fuck? Oh well. And he's just like tumbling along, and like I want to believe, but it doesn't look 100% there yet. Like, I don't know what they could have done, honestly. It just baffles me that they even got a chance to do it, which is, it's crazy. It's amazing, but it's not quite there yet. Eric was complaining about the facial animation of the animals, especially when they were talking, which makes sense, but this is also a Disney movie. All animals talk.
I'll say this. This is what I will say. The way the talking looked in relation to the animals' faces, it reminded me of the movie Cats and Dogs, or any of like the late 90s, early 2000s kind of movie where they took real footage of animals and then just CG their mouth. My point being, the animals looked amazing and looked really real, but because of that, when I see their mouths move, I'm like, who's animating that? Like it threw me off. But overall, it was alright. I if you're interested in, well, if you're like a diehard person of Disney, or you're really interested in the effects, like visual effects of movies, go see it. Everyone else, I would probably say a rental. It's okay. I had zero expectations for the movie going in, and I wasn't underwhelmed. I was just kind of whelmed. If you enjoyed this, like, comment, talk about stuff. I usually reply since I don't really get that many comments. But if you'd like to see any other videos, you can hit the subscribe button. And I'm doing my best to do this once a week. Next week is Keanu. So, yeah. So I'll see you guys next time. And ta-ta.